It is over, as Howard Cosell once said. And of course, he was talking about monthly wins in the month of June in 2026. The Miami Marlins are your winner. They clinched it yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if they're resting all their starters today on this news.
A lot of champagne last night. Yep.
A lot of champagne. 19-6 heading into their final game of the month. The Miami Marlins, 19-6. By the way, you see our Cubs? Our Cubs are in fifth in the end, and they never had any chance of winning this. 4 wins back at 15-10. Oh, what could have been those first 15 games against a patsy schedule. The Giants, the Athletics, and the Rockies, they could not take advantage. They went 7-8 in those first 15 games, and that spelled their doom because the Marlins refused to lose. 19-6. Our next guest had the Marlins, but had them in May. That, I'm told, does not count. Nobody at William Hill Caesars or at Circa had a ticket on the Marlins. 0. The null set. The book scooped every penny. Joe Sheehan is that man I'm talking about who had the Marlins 1 month too soon. Joins us now courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow him on Twitter at Joe_Sheehan. He's the author of the Joe Sheehan newsletter. Joe, a month too early, man. I'm sorry.
A good friend of mine's not a big poker player, but he plays a lot of poker. And he always talks about flop lag. Like you've got 6-7 of spades and the flop comes Jack, King, Queen, diamonds. And then the next hand, you'll have, King, Queen of spades and it'll come 6, 7, 8 diamonds. That's me with this fly. I get flop lag on the monthly bets.
Yeah. You want no part of July, or you just didn't have any time to actually look at it yet?
It's more that I hadn't had a chance to look at it. The end of the month really snuck up on me, guys. June, it's only 30 days. It sneaks up on you at the end. But I will say that the one thing, not having looked at schedules, I think the one thing that I'm coming to is you want to look at teams that have underachieved their performance to date. The Marlins have actually one of the biggest gaps between their actual record and their third order record is published at claydavenport.com. And it really does seem to me that that's ending up a key number. These teams that are underachieving up to a certain point, getting on them for the following month. So maybe you look at the Tigers, who have actually the best third order record in the American League Central so far.
Well, I took the Red Sox along those lines, got them at 80-1 for the month of July. I see that Circa, I don't know if I got the openers at Circa, but Circa posted theirs yesterday. And by the time I got to look at it, they were 25-1 at Circa. So 80-1, a good one. Yeah, CLV, I can't tell you how many times it's resulted in nothing whatsoever, Joe, but at least got a good number on it. Before we get into your picks for the day, I just wanted just a minute from you on, because it's kind of the midway point, give me the 3 biggest headlines in baseball first half of the season as you see it.
The lack of great teams, or arguably the lack of good teams. The National League has such a dominant performance over the American League that the American League doesn't have 500 teams right now. You've got a situation where if the season ended, a sub 500 team might make the playoffs. A 500 team might win the National League West, the American League West. So that imbalance between the leagues and really just the lack of greatness is part of it. I think the ABS is one of the biggest stories. Something we talked about a lot because it was new when the season first started, and now it just become part of the framework. It's what we do. It's like originally when replay came into play, we got used to it. What I will say though is it's become very much a tool to prevent runs, and I don't know that we all saw that coming at the start of the year. Most of the challenges now are upright catchers. Teams have learned that catchers are better than hitters and pitchers at it, and they've learned that they want to prevent runs more than they want to have hitters using up their challenges. And then, the injuries. Aaron Judge, Tarek Skubal, Mookie Betts had some time on the IL. We're used to injuries at this point, but it seems like the level of stars getting injured has been higher than at any point in other seasons.
Those are 3 great answers to that question. I think that's a great summation of the state of the game right now. You do have plays today on the last day of June. You got 5 of them. Let's start with the Red Sox, who I just mentioned. They're on a 5-game. Well, they swept the Yankees. They win last night again. They close out the month against the Nationals. Does this magic carpet ride continue?
I think it does. And you mentioned them as your July wins leader. They've been getting some great pitching by rookie starters. One of them goes tonight, Connolly Early. Peyton Toll, Jake Bennett have also been very good for them. This was not how they were supposed to go for them. They were supposed to be a run-scoring team. And it turns out they're actually getting by on this starting rotation. Throw in Sonny Gray. Remember, Garrett Crochet has been on the IL. He was terrible, and then he went to the IL. But it's these rookie starters that have really kept it going for them. The Nationals and Red Sox are going in opposite directions. I think if you looked at this game as far back as March, you would have said the Red Sox will be minus 170, minus 175 here, even against Cade Cavalli. So I think the odds aren't quite catching up to where these two teams are right now.
Rays find themselves atop the AL East by a game and a half, and the Royals this season is just going nowhere fast. What are you playing in the Royals-Rays game today?
These two teams played last week at the Trop. They split 4 games. 2 of them went way over, including that no-hit bid by Ian Seymour and the Rays bullpen. The matchup tonight is interesting. Noah Cameron and Griffin Jacks aren't pitching that great, but the Rays are 24th in baseball in WOBA against lefties. The Royals are 24th in baseball in WOBA against righties. So it is a bad matchup for these two offenses. I really like this game to stay under 10. It's a little bit juiced. I think it might get to 9-5 before the day is out.
Speaking of going nowhere fast, the Giants and the Diamondbacks both.
It's funny, we talk about third order record. The Giants have underperformed their third order record by a lot, one of the highest numbers in baseball. So I look here, I also see Landon Roop talk about underperformers. The gap between his ERA and his FIP is the second highest in baseball. He actually has a sub-3 FIP. Would have been really one of the best starters in the game. Goes up tonight against Brandon Pfaadt, who's been going backwards really since he had that great playoff run in 2023 with the Diamondbacks. A FIP ERA over 5, an actual ERA over 5. This is basically a coin flip in Arizona tonight, and I like the Giants to win it at minus 108.
Yeah, the sequencing has been terrible for the Giants, but that's how the cookie crumbles again with baseball. Dodgers and Athletics at Sutter Health Park in Sacramento. Dodgers were a really affordable price last night. They got it done against the Athletics. This total is set at 11.
Yeah, and I know that sounds like a really big number. It is a really big number. But you look at Sutter Health Park this year, 36 games, 19 of them have been at that number or above. The average number of runs scored at Sutter Health Park this year is 11.3. So I like the over here. I think that it's even money right now where I was able to get it at FanDuel. We'll see if it goes up from there. Justin Robleski, we're talking a lot about the gap between performance and underlying skill. He's one of the biggest pitchers when it comes to the gap between their ERA and FIP in the other direction. And on the other side, you got Jeffrey Springs, who's been getting knocked around this year. So I think this one comfortably goes over 11.
All right. And how about a prop of the day, Joe?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot with total basis props of late. And tonight you've got Christian Yelich going up against Rhett Lauder in Milwaukee. Yelich bats leadoff, definitely 4 plate appearances, usually 5. Rhett Lauder really gives it up to righties. 440 slugging allowed, 525 expected slugging allowed. So Yelich, whose power is down this year, should have a good opportunity to get 2 singles, a double, a lot of ways he can get to this. Plus money at 127 for over 1.5 total bases.
All right, Joe, since it is the midway point of the season or thereabouts, just before the All-Star break, I will ask you this, as your non-betting friends will ask you. Hey, who do you think is going to be in the World Series this year? I ask that of you.
I'm very stubborn. Until I have a reason to punt my preseason prediction, I stick with it as long as it's mathematically possible. Preseason, I had Dodgers over Rangers, and I'm sticking with Dodgers over Rangers.
I like it. I have the Rangers season win total over. Let's get there, Rangers. Anytime you're ready to sort of soar, I appreciate that. But the Rangers are trending in the right direction. Joe, appreciate it very much. And good luck with all the bets today. We will be following.
Thanks, guys.
Joe Sheehan, everybody, at Joe_Sheehan, again on Twitter, the author of the Joe Sheehan newsletter. Best place to get that is at joesheehan.com, or check out his Twitter for links there as well. Joe Pita, one of our beloved baseball guests, his North Star of baseball writing is Joe Sheehan. So that's all you need to know about that. Always love checking in with Joe.
You're here because you want an edge. That's what separates listeners from winners. But let's be real, mindset alone doesn't get bets home. Pros win because they've got the tools, the data, and the discipline. And now so can you. VEASAN Pro gives you access to the same real-time insights the sharps use. No secrets, no fluff, just actionable info that moves markets. Tap the link and see why serious bettors are turning knowledge into profit with VEASAN Pro.
Drew Dinsick is here to talk World Cup with us, Wimbledon, I don't know, maybe NBA trades. Definitely got to talk some seismology. We have seismology question requests for Drew Dinsick. He joins us now from the LBC, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow him on Twitter at whale_capper, the host of not one, but 2 podcasts, The Deep Dive with Andy Molitor, his co-host, and of course, NBC Sports Bet the Edge, which he does with Jay Croucher. Drew, good morning, sir.
How are you guys?
Doing very well. Let's get the Wimbledon plays out of the way first, because I don't want them to start here while you're talking. Sure. Anything left at the All England Club today for you?
Let me see. The start to the tennis tournament has gone well, except for Cerundolo crashing out in round one. I did not have that on my bingo card. Let's see. On the men's side, I have the games over in Jiří Lehečka, Alexander Popyrin. That looks like the best match left on the card as far as entertainment purposes go. My numbers say that this is closer than the -400, +400 that you kind of see out there market wide. And I think in general, if you can find over 38.5 games, that's how I got in. But 39.5 is fine as well if that's all that's available to you. I think Ivelisse takes a set off of Diana Schneider. And ultimately, that's a 3-setter. I think that's going to be a super competitive match. And I don't have any action in this Serena Williams match, but my goodness gracious, with the amount of support the market is throwing behind Serena, I might have to get involved on the other side with Maya Joint here.
Yeah.
I don't know about this, man. I don't know about this.
I have no idea what we're about to see. Yeah. No idea.
No.
Let's just parlay it with Bosnia and be real true Americans, fellas. Maya Joint Bosnia.
Yeah.
There'll be a time and a place to fade the United States in soccer, but I don't think it's tomorrow.
At the round of 32. I again have only two plays today. Oksana Selikmetova against Sonia Kraus as a slight dog, and then I'm on Elena Gabriela Rousset as a favorite, -141 favorite in her match against the American Katie McNally. Those are my only 2 plays for the day. I didn't love this card at Wimbledon. Anything else? We got to all of them, Drew. Those are the rest that you have.
I mean, Sinner's on sale. You want some Sinners on sale? You can get some right now. What is this price? I mean, I know he went down yesterday. He took a tumble. There probably are some people that are a little concerned that he may have injured his groin. He certainly got a lot of coverage for the Curt Schilling shoe. But I'm not really spooked by either of those things. I think the more important thing to take away from that match is that his serve and the timing on his serve is pretty much impeccable. And that as we go through this tournament, and what happens on center court is the grass dies over the course of the 2 weeks, right? Like they beat it up by playing tournament on it. And so week 2 of this tournament, like his serve's not going to, it's going to be coming off of the surface like this much, there's going to be no play to be had on that thing once we get into week 2 here. And he's going to be unbreakable in week 2. He obviously could be his own worst enemy with his fitness concerns, and the potential for injury is real. But my number on him is closer to -300 right now, and it's in the -160 range, which is banana land to me. Especially because no one else looks good. No, the men's side of the draw is just a who's who of out of form nonsense, and I'm not even really sure. Maybe point to Taylor Fritz as the only impressive performance of any of the players who are expected to do anything here this fortnight. He looked good today. Otherwise, it's been play your way into form across the board. So I really don't. Obviously could live to regret many bets I make on the men's outright market, but I think Sinner right now is on sale.
You have just corroborated 2 of the things I said last segment. We did stage of elimination, and 2 of the players we did Sasha Zverev. I said quarterfinals against Taylor Fritz is the obvious sort of spot for him. And then we did Jannik Sinner, and my response was there is none. There is no stage of elimination, right? Stage of elimination is sometime never. Okay. To the
I would keep an eye on stage of elimination for Jannik Sinner, like Roland Garros final, maybe
next year. Roland Garros final,
June, the early June 2027. I don't think this is hyperbole either. Like his numbers are so much better than every other man on tour. It's not even funny. And obviously, there are X factors that could take out these monster favorites, but I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
Stage of elimination is a heat wave. Let's put it that way. If that's an option, stage of elimination is a horrible heat wave that will do him in. All right. The World Cup. No one enjoys this more than you do, man. Yesterday, Thierry Henry's comment was, what a day for football. Football won today. You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, Wimbledon was pretty good yesterday too, but yeah, football was awesome. I mean, honestly, this is such a joy to have this in the month of July. I know it's the end of June, but the fact that we get tennis all morning, all week, right into World Cup elimination football, bang, 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 is so good. And yesterday's matches were, you couldn't draw up more entertaining football, I don't think. The Brazil-Japan match was absolute fire. Japan, just such a good team to get such a difficult opponent in their first round. Another draw, they could have easily made it to the quarterfinals. But Brazil dispatches them and was, I thought, the rightful winner. The penalty kicks drama, really the VAR overturn, which was extremely soft on Germany, but then leading to the drama we got in the penalty kicks was amazing. I'm sure people put this together, but the header that Ta scored in extra time was probably the best header goal of this tournament so far. It was such a good header. And then for him to be the GOAT on the other side that airmails the penalty kick when, he's never taken one. It's like, that's all the drama you could ever ask for. But the faces on the Japanese players when Brazil scored the deciding goal was just unbelievable. Just so emotional. And then the penalty kick drama at the end of both the other was just awesome. So yeah, you cannot beat this. It is so freaking good. I thought the expansion of the tournament was going to turn out to blow up in the face of FIFA, and we were all going to have a good laugh that they ruined the perfect thing. But forget about that. It has been awesome having more soccer and having more knockout matches. What was I thinking? We got 16 more knockout matches. Like this is better than having just 16, having 32.
And you know what?
Much better.
I kind of dug the whole Korea needs this to happen to get through.
Sure,
Iran needs this to happen to get through. So it ended up being all right. Yeah. Triple header today in the round of 32, Drew. Norway, Ivory Coast, France, Sweden, Mexico, Ecuador. Where did you land on these?
I have Ivory Coast in this one. The market is saying Norway is significantly the better team. I disagree. I think this is very 50-50. I have some Ivory Coast to advance. I think the draw is a fair play on that one. I know a lot of people are playing the over in that one because Norway's defense has been so suspect. But to me, I think they're going to have to play a more conservative style if they want to. They know just as well as everybody else does that is their limitation. I don't think they're coming into this match with the idea that we need to score 3 goals to get a win. I think they're going to try to pick their chance more carefully. And I think Ivory Coast has the stronger midfield in this one too. So maybe a slight advantage for me for Ivory Coast as far as who's the better team. And for that reason, I like them to advance at price. France, Sweden, to me, not that interesting. I think France is clearly the better team, clearly going to come through. Market is all over this in terms of fair price. I would not get involved in that one. Just going to sit back and enjoy it. And then Mexico, Ecuador is another one that I'm closer to 50-50 than the market. I know that Mexico is tough to beat on home soil, but the Ecuador team certainly has enough quality defense to make this one a low scoring, entertaining drama. So if there's going to be a 0-0 that goes to extra time, I think it's probably Mexico, Ecuador. I'm going to play some exact 0-0 there, try to get a big number. And in general, I think that one's going to be decided by something fluky.
I'm doing the exact same thing I did yesterday, which is playing the draw and the 0-0 in games 1 and 3. So Norway, Ivory Coast. And then Mexico, Ecuador, both of those, skipping the France game. By the way, I skipped the middle game yesterday. That was, of course, a draw that I did not see coming in the Germany game. So, first and third, draw, and with a little bit of the 0-0 added in as well. The 0-0, if you will.
The 0-0.
Yeah, for real.
I'm saying it.
Get it together, boys.
That's right.
Don't make me chime in.
The old Chrissy Andrews, what is nil story? One of the great story times ever. which those who listen to the Betting Dork and Beating the Book podcast may remember. Kelly was off air, was going through this heartfelt, like he was tapping his soul about what he thinks the Portland Trailblazers are up to, because they just re-signed Robert Williams to a multi-year deal too. Kelly's speculating deeply about everything, and then Mark Borchardt comes chiming in off the top rope, and he says, and he just interrupts you. Were you offended by the fact that he has no interest in basketball talk?
Mark Borchardt could never offend me, Gil. And you know what? Yeah. He even though he did interrupt me, I guess he didn't single me out. He let us know immediately that he cannot stand all of the NBA talk on the entire network. So he didn't just single me and our show out, okay?
Mark Borchardt joins us now, courtesy of Aggressive Guest Line. No, I didn't mean to say that. He's a blanket anti-NBA talk because there's so many baseball games he said on today. Mark, good morning.
Gil, here's the whole thing, though. I didn't do it. I was silent, letting you guys, have your discussion, because you guys got to talk about big things. It's a big show. And so your producer put me in. So I will not take credit for interrupting Kelly, but I will take credit for saying that every time I hear basketball on the network, for all these guys who are doing the programming, I turn away. So let's do more baseball, less basketball on the network.
This will, by the way, this like fiefdom thing will never end, right? Because like some people are in certain corners so steadfastly, can't imagine how the other people like that other stuff. This is what makes the world go around. But since you're here, let's talk baseball, man. And it's what I love about you is that you are willing to jump into things we talk about, specifically these monthly win markets. July begins tomorrow. A special numbers game investigation reveals that July begins tomorrow, and you have run your numbers on July most wins.
It's so great, Gil. I love this monthly market. So props to, was it Biggio over there? Is that the guy who started it at Caesars? What a cool market it is. And talk about like seeing life from a blinder standpoint. I'm just coming out of an hour and a half worth of Monte Carlo simulations for July. And get this, Gil, my first post of the year on basewinner.com. And I've got some plays I'm going to give out here. But I also got some other plays on the post. So you guys, if you can check out the post, let me know if you like the post. I'll post more for you guys. It'd be great.
I love it. Okay, so you ran the numbers for July, and again, we still have, what is it? How many hours we got? We got 15 hours left to make your bets before July starts, but actually games don't start at midnight. So you got more time to put in your July bets. They are available at William Hill Caesars. They are available now at Circa. Remember, William Hill Caesars ties for most wins is a dead heat. At Circa, tiebreakers rule, fewest losses will be the first tiebreaker. Best run differential will be the second tiebreaker in case teams end up with the most wins at the end of July. And by the way, one last shout out to the Miami Marlins, who crushed the month of June. They have already clinched. Not a single person at either shop had a ticket on the Marlins in the month of June, Mark. So what did you come up with, sir, for July?
Well, it's a little bit chalky, but I don't care. The Dodgers I have winning the month 18.9% of the time. So they should be priced according to all those sims at plus 428, and they're in the market at plus 650. So that's a good play. And then another favorite, I got two more that I'm not going to give out, but I'll tell you the other one that I like too. The Mariners, I've got them at 7.6% to win, and they're priced at 20-1. So they should be about 12-1 roughly. And then I'm going to give you a bomb, Gil. The Orioles, okay, I got them 2.85% to win the month of July, and so that should be plus 34-1. Is there 34-1 odds that what it should be? They're 90-1. So that's the bomb. And there's a couple. I have four more bombs there. It's really an interesting simulation. There was a lot of teams that had somewhat of a chance to win it, and I will make a comment about your Boston play because. Yes. I think it was a good play. I've got them they should be 54-1. So I think you bet it at 80-1 or something. So that's a good play. But now I think all the people all the money that you guys poured into the market, I know you and Kelly went over there and bet a brick, and now it's down. So I wouldn't recommend that.
My brick, if you can call it that, moved it to 60-1, and I saw Circa at 25-1. So I'm with you. 25-1, different story. But if you get a longer number than that, that's a whole different thing. So the Red Sox were not one of your 4 other bombs that you are not disclosing?
No, they're not. They're
okay.
Because I have them like at 54-1. And so they're 30-1 now, but I mean, they really, I mean, I guess it goes to show you, and hopefully we can popularize this. This is really cool. The reason I like it is because, I can't tell you, I've got the Dodgers shirt on. So I've lost 4 back-ended parlays where the Dodgers have been minus 200 or more, right? And Ohtani on the mound, Glasnow on the mound, and that is super frustrating. So I think that, playing the month kind of takes out a little bit of the variance out. And it's a cool market. I'm elated, as you can tell, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, again, there's going to be people who listen to the show like, wow, they talk about that monthly market thing a lot. The reason that we do is because of sort of what you're talking about, which is, first of all, it does 2 things. One, you don't have to sweat daily baseball. As you said, you don't have to lose on a -2 or whatever you're playing, right? Whatever the gut-wrenching bullpen implosion of the day is, you don't necessarily have to live through that on a daily basis. But the other thing is, baseball is 162 games. The regular season lasts 6 months. For those of us who do content, it is a really sort of controlled way of allowing us to enjoy the baseball slog in the way that we wouldn't if we had to be mired in. You and I know, I mean, this. My whole life for years, right? Every summer was baseball every single day, handicapping every single game, betting baseball like I do tennis now. Tennis is my daily thing now, and tennis is a 365-day-a-year job. Baseball, I need to parse it out like this, and it really helps you, by the way, understand the ebb and flow of teams as a season goes on too, in a way that you might not otherwise if you're not involved in these markets. And oh, by the way, we're trying to win money in the meantime and have won one of these already. So, all of the above.
Gil, I'm looking right now at the Mark Borchardt post, basewinner.com. Go check it out. I know he just teased it a little bit, but there is a 100-1 shot in there for the month that Mark has priced at about 13-1. So might want to go check that out, basewinner.com.
Whoa. Good tease, Kelly.
I love it, Kelly. Thank you. I'll listen to your basketball now. I'm not going to turn the channel after you said that.
Mark, here's the truth. Mark said, I'm going to go listen to Hardwood Handicappers now. I guess I should. And Kelly goes, don't worry about it. I'm not on it. That's what he said.
Summertime. We're doing occasional ones. Okay?
Spoken like a true industry professional. I love it, Kelly.
That's right. All right. What did you land on today, Mark?
I'm going to play the Orioles, and I've played the run line a little bit more, and it's actually been pretty good for me over the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to take the Orioles, one of my bomb teams in July, but it's not going to count because it's still June today, Gil. But I like a -1.5 plus 140. I'm just playing against Fedde. I've got 148 pitchers ranked in the the starting the 1 through 5 guys. And he's my 147th ranked pitcher. So it looks like he's not even going to bulk today. It looks like he's going to get the start. And so I'm going to go with Baltimore -1.5. And then I'm going to play them with the aforementioned Mariners. Brian Wu, for me, is a top 50 pitcher. But more importantly, the Mariners' second offense in baseball. And that kind of comes out into the calculus of the monthly projections as well, against the 30th ranked offense of the Angels. So I think putting them in a parlay, Baltimore-Seattle, is a good idea. It's a plus 163, Baltimore-Seattle, just a straight money line parlay, and then Baltimore -1.5 on the run line, Gil.
Somewhere Steve Fezzik's head is exploding. He's like, this Borchardt, such an intelligent guy. And then he throws out a parlay, drives him crazy. But these have worked for you.
They haven't. The whole thought, and I should really just make it. I have one post on my site right now from this year. I should make the parlay the second post because there's some compelling arguments to play the parlay. So, and I have the post made. So maybe I'll do that in the next week, Gil.
Okay. Well, let's Fezzik counterpoint with you. The Marlins won June. You know who the worst team in June was, Mark? The New York Metropolitans. But you like them today.
I do. I think McLean has some pretty good underlying numbers. They're a slight dog, plus 105. If you look at McLean's stuff plus number, and this is kind of more of a granular number, it's in the 87th percentile. And then Gausman's in the 56th percentile. Not bad, but still 56th percentile. And then if you're looking at McLean's strikeout percentage, it's 29.6 over his last 150 plate appearances, and that's in the 96th percentile. So you've got some good numbers there. I think that the Mets, from an offensive standpoint, are still a little bit underrated. They got Lindor back. I've got him top 5, and they're going against a Toronto offense I've got ranked 18th, Gil.
Okay. Mark, appreciate it. Earmuffs, because we're going to talk about NBA next. Just want to warn you.
Oh,
thank you, Mark.
I'm dialing in.
Appreciate
I'm going to hang up with you. I'm turning on Sirius Radio.
Paul Carr joins us now from the Heartland, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. Paul is the emperor over there at True Media Networks. Talk some World Cup with us. Good morning to you, Paul.
Gil, we had a day yesterday. 3 games, 3 great games. All 4 knockout games so far have been wonderful, and we have 28 more of these to go, so buckle up.
Buckle up is right. Now, so I have a couple questions. One, there is Paraguay winning on PKs yesterday against Germany. Mm-hmm. Does that make us, the United States of America, Team USA, look that much better?
Yeah, we're winning the World Cup for sure. Yeah. I mean, yes is the short answer. Because there was a vocal group of people that after the Paraguay game, like, look, they're the worst team in South America that made it, whatever, which is, accurate to a point. But it wasn't just that the U.S. won. It was they just destroyed Paraguay 4-1. And you saw all the things the U.S. did with getting guys in and making chances that Germany did not do against the same team. So, again, you can't quite use the transitive property, and the U.S. isn't going to go whoop up on Germany or something like that. But it shows some of the upside and the capabilities that this U.S. team has.
Excellent use of transitive property as well.
Thank
from
you.
Geometry class. Well done. Later, we will discuss the commutative property, I believe, is another one.
Can't wait.
Here's my other thing from yesterday. So Germany goes down on penalty kicks. The Netherlands go down on penalty kicks. The drama, we went through it earlier. It was just awesome. Is this a cautionary note for all these other supposed favorites, right? The Belgiums of the world, perhaps the Team USAs of the world? Do not get wrapped up in a penalty kick situation because it may not go your way.
Take care of business. If it's throw on 2 more forwards in stoppage or in extra time, like, I'm for it. You're so much better off. I mean, it's just the math of it all. If you look at the betting odds, for example, if you look at, Germany, Paraguay at the start of extra time, Germany was a significant favorite. Goes to the shootout, much closer to a coin flip. So, I mean, that's the simplest way to say it. Like, if you're the better team, which, the U.S. will be against Bosnia and Herzegovina, then you're better off playing out and going for it then, because you get to penalty kicks and it's much closer to a coin flip than it would be otherwise.
We have a triple header today again, round of 32, beginning with France. France taking on Sweden. You have a play in this game. You are all about the French.
Man, I mean, I don't know how you can bet against France at this point, against a much lesser opponent like Sweden. Here's my favorite note from the group stage with France. They were the 3rd team in the last 40 years to win all their group games with a goal difference of +8 or better. The other 2 were France in 1998 when they won the title, and Brazil in 2002 when they won the title. So that's the kind of upside that France has, the kind we knew they had. And maybe their defense hasn't been quite as good as expected, but they are opening up the attack. And if they do that, they should be able to hang 3 goals on anybody. Sweden, not very good defensively. They were bad in qualifying. They kind of backdoored their way just to get to the World Cup. They got torched by Netherlands in the group stage. Famous last words. I don't see how Sweden keeps up with France in this game. So I laid a goal and a half with France at -125.
All right. And by the way, I misspoke. France-Sweden is the second of the 3 games today. The game that stops, the match that starts at the top of the hour is the Norway-Ivory Coast game, of course, which I have a draw in. I'm playing a draw in the late game between Mexico and Ecuador as well. Do you have any plays on either of those 2 games before we move on to another?
I lean over Ivory Coast, Norway. All 3 of Norway's group games had 5 goals and over 3 expected goals. So I think, they kind of just go for it. Ivory Coast has a lot of attacking talent. So I lean over in that game. You can get over 2.5 around even money, -105 range.
Okay. What about Team USA? Let's talk about it. Round of 32. You have said par is the round of 16. So we're just trying to get to par here. How are you playing this?
So I've written the first half goal for the U.S. through the whole group stage, and all three of those hit. They scored in the first, I think, 11 minutes of all three games. I like that idea again in this one, but first half goal for the U.S. here is like minus 185 by now. So we're getting in the, not a lot of value range. So I kind of pivoted to U.S. first half. U.S. win the first half, or it's a 3-way money line first half, whatever your book lists it. Minus 125, I think is what, minus 120 is where I got that. U.S. has just shown they want to come out and beat people right away. They've played 13 straight World Cup opponents over the past year and scored in the first half in 10 of those. So U.S. can do that. Bosnia was one of the worst attacking teams in the group stage as far as shot generation, expected goals and such. So I don't think they really have the firepower. And if the U.S. comes out like they have shown they will, then they're going to create plenty of chances in this first half and should get a goal, maybe even two if you're feeling good in this one. So yeah, U.S. win the first half minus 120 against Bosnia-Herzegovina tomorrow.
Might as well keep hammering it. USA Bosnia-Herzegovina is tomorrow. The winner, we're hoping it's Team USA, but the winner will take on the winner of the Belgium-Senegal match, which is tomorrow as well. If I gave you truth serum, or if I gave Team USA more specifically truth serum, and I say, okay, you beat Bosnia-Herzegovina, you advance, who would you rather play? What's the answer?
This is a tough one, I think. I think I would say Senegal. The U.S. beat Senegal earlier, last month in May in a friendly. I'm not real high on Belgium because, some of their best players are old. Your De Bruyne, Lukaku's coming off the bench, etc. But I still think Belgium has a little bit more upside, a little bit more danger. Jeremy Doku on the left wing is maybe one of the best wingers in the world and really gave the U.S. fits in their friendly back in March. So I think I would say Senegal. I don't think there's a lot between these two teams, Belgium and Senegal. I would take Senegal to advance if I were making a play on this game. But I think it's got to be Senegal just because Belgium's got a little more upside, even if they have a lower floor as well.
All right. So again, with Paul Carr's golf analogy, if we lose, we being Team USA, if we lose to Bosnia-Herzegovina, we have bogeyed this tournament. If we lose next round to either Belgium or Senegal, we have parred this tournament. If we win that one, we are birdieing at worst.
Yeah. And here's my addendum to that. I think if he loses in the next round, while it would be par, I think it's like parring a par 5 when you get on the green in 2.
Yeah.
You get to that point and you feel like, we ought to get a birdie here. You got a, 30-footer, 40-footer or something. Like you should get in the hole in 2 there, but it ends up taking 3. So you're a little disappointed even if you do get a par.
Spectacular analogy, by the way. Keeps having tentacles. I love that. It's like a par, but on a par 5 where you get on the dance floor in 2. You were expecting more. Not to be outdone, Thursday there's matches. Spain, Austria is one of them. You have a play in that game.
Yeah, I like the over here, over 2.5, minus 115, minus 120 range. Spain has, both these teams really were what we thought they were in the group stage. Spain, again, they drew Cape Verde, but they outplayed them and, ball just didn't go in the net, whatever. They crushed Saudi Arabia. The Uruguay game was kind of a weird one, but Spain won that too. And Austria, they drew Algeria, roughly even with. They beat Jordan. They lost Argentina, all pretty much as expected. So I don't know that we learned a lot about either of these teams, but Austria has this, Red Bull style where they're going to press, they're going to get up and down. You saw a lot of it in the Algeria game, the parts that were actually competitive. And Spain, for those tuning in to Spain for maybe the first time in 4 years, this is not the pass you to death version of Spain that won a World Cup and a Euros a few years ago. This is much more, again, up and down. They don't mind running with you a little bit. They don't mind winning games 3-2, 3-1. They're not trying to win everything 1-0. And Austria's style will play right into that. So I expect to see goals in this one. So over 2.5 at minus 115.
We saw 2 matches and in penalty kicks yesterday with the upset, if you will, happening. Paraguay advances, Morocco advances, was just high drama. You're a guy who watches much more soccer than Kelly and me do. What is sort of the Paul Carr pet peeve of penalty kicks? What would you say about yesterday's? Were there mistakes made within that? Help us understand as sort of the more casual American sports fans on these.
My biggest pet peeve is guys who stutter step and slow down and try to react to what the keeper is doing, because one, it just looks terrible, like kick the ball already. But I do think like it makes it a little harder. Like your eyes aren't on the ball, which, not every players have to be, but just mentally, you're not quite as sure. So you're not getting as much power. You're probably not placing it quite as well. I think it just puts you in a bad spot. I get what they're trying to do because obviously you have more information. Where's the keeper going? Half the net is open in theory, but I think it just takes guys out of their normal routine because you're really not doing that when you're normally kicking a ball. So I hate it when guys do it both aesthetically and practically.
Aesthetically as well. And then I mentioned this earlier, your boy Alexi, man. Zlatan is just killing him. Did you see this yesterday? It was like, how many penalty kicks have you taken?
I think I saw this one.
Oh, yeah. How many? That's right. Have you ever done penalty kicks, Alexi? He's like, not for a long time. Ever do it in a World Cup? No.
Right. Alexi should ask him how much TV he's done.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Hey-o. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.
Alexi wouldn't do that. He's too nice.
Too nice or something. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.